Hey guys, it's Scott Harris here, the founder of Millionaire Mentoring, where we take regular folks just like me and transform their psychology, their mindset, their identity, their beliefs, and their stories around this thing called money so they can create more wealth and more freedom in their life. I'm also the founder of Ultimate Coach, where we train the world's best coaches, and I'm stopping by to share with you a very simple and useful and powerful understanding of this thing that I think is the most important resource you have, and that is this thing called time, my friends. You know, I've had the unique opportunity the last 20 years to travel around the world with some incredible people where I've got to be on stage teaching with or learning from some of the world's great achievers financially, spiritually, in wealth creation, in personal development. And I get to meet tens of thousands of people, and you may be one of them. You and I maybe have met in person at a seminar somewhere or here via Facebook or some other medium. And you and I have probably got some similarities going on in our lives. We've read some books on personal growth. We've been to some seminars on how to make more money. We've got a desire to create more income, more wealth, better health, better relationships with our spouse, our children, our family. We want to do contribution. We want to travel the world and do really cool, fun, amazing things. We want to make our mark. And I got to tell you, after 2 decades of traveling the globe, the biggest challenge, the biggest wound, the biggest conundrum I hear from everybody across the board is they say, Scotty, listen, I know what my goals are. I know what my dreams are. You may know your goals and dreams. And I say, but listen, I know I want to make more income this year. I know I want to create more wealth this year. Income and wealth are two different things. I know I want to create better relationships this year with my spouse, my children, my peer group, my friends, new friends. I know I want to do more contribution. I know I want to have more fun, more adventure, more freedom. But Scotty, I just don't have enough time. I don't have enough time. I don't know how to plan it and schedule, and I always seem to be busy or running late or not getting stuff done. And so if you've ever had the experience of either being left behind or caught behind or feeling behind or maybe not being able to get into your schedule all the things you'd like to and need to get your schedule, we should have a chat. And the reason for that is because I'm just a regular guy, just like you. When I was almost 30 years of age, I was selling coffee and muffins for a living, thinking, gosh, if I could just work another 10 or 20 or 30 hours a week, that would solve all my problems. Some of you may know some folks who are looking to work 10 or 20 or 30 or 40 hours a week more, thinking that'll solve all your problems. I can tell you, it might solve some, but it won't solve the majority of them. And I started to learn some things, and more importantly, I started to use some things and implement some skills and tools, some science, some real usable, functional, genuine, hard structure tools that you can use to change how your life gets to show up. And we've been using those things for a long time. I say we, because my wife and I now have been able to carve out what for mostly is a pretty extraordinary quality of life. We live in a beautiful home that we love and adore with our crazy 4 children that are a blessing every day. We get to have the privilege, the unique privilege of being able to buy both my mother and her mother their own unique individual dream houses, which is one of the coolest things we've ever done. And we have nice stuff, nice cars, a nice boat, and we travel and do some pretty cool stuff. And more than that, we're happy and we enjoy the experience and the quality of our lives. And I share that with you because that's not my experience of everybody I meet, even though they may be successful. So if you're watching this video and you're thinking, either I am successful and I want to be more successful, or maybe you're not quite yet as successful as you'd like to be, but there's this challenge, this pressure, this scarcity you have around this thing called time, then we should chat. Because for me, planning, scheduling, and understanding time, your single most important resource, is something I've been fascinated with for more than 20 years now, and I'd love to show you some things. In fact, I'd actually like to run through right now in this video 5 very important, 5 critically important things that you need to understand. And I'd like to take you through a process where you understand them and can break through them. And the first is simply this. There are 3 critical mistakes, 3 critical mistakes that almost everybody uses, or almost everybody does, when they're planning their day, planning their week, planning their month. There's 3 critical challenges that I want to help you A, recognize, and then B, overcome, so you don't do that when you're setting up your day, your week, your month, your year. Now beyond that, I find many people are dealing consistently with a stressful worrisomeness around this thing called time. They're either in scarcity and lack, Scotty, I don't have enough time, or they're in frustration, they're always trying to catch up, or they're feeling like they're caught up in busyness, or they simply have a belief that there's just not enough time. And I got to tell you, if you're being unresourceful, if you're stressed, if you're frustrated, if you're worried, none of those things are going to allow you to perform at your maximum, your best, your peak performance. And your life's going to need you at your very best. So I'd like to teach you and take you on a strategy to move you through and move you past stress or overwhelm or frustration. Now, some of you are like, no, that's not my problem at all, Scotty. My problem is procrastination. I'm sitting back on the couch and I'm not getting anything done. Well, I can tell you, procrastination is one of the most important things we want to be able to break through. And I can teach you how to do that. In fact, I can physically take you through breaking through that experience. And some of us, I certainly have done this in the past, where in one area of my life, I've been procrastinating, and the other area of my life, I've had stress and worry. So if you're an overachiever and you're experiencing both of those things, rest assured you are in the right place. Beyond that, if you're a high achiever, if you're taking successful steps in your business, your job, your career, your health, your relationships, your travel, your contribution, I can tell you, I'm 47, 48, 49 years of age. The older I get, the more complicated life gets, the busier it gets, the more opportunities that come our way. And I'd like to teach you a decision-making process. Because I tell you what, grown-ups have got to make decisions. We have to learn to be able to choose between this or that. And I tell you, most people's decision-making process is not an ideal model. If at all, they've even got one. So I want to run you through a values-based decision-making process so that you never again are caught up or challenged by or torn between this or that. You're making strong, pure, grounded, values-based decisions. And then finally, fifth thing is I want to teach you how to plan and schedule every single one of your hours, your days, your weeks, your months, and maybe ideally even your year and the next 2 or 3 years. Now, that's a lot to cover. So here's my opportunity for you. Here's my invitation for you. Myself personally, every year, I take myself through a 3-day process. I do it with my spouse, I do it with my wife, so we can sit down and plan and schedule and really get a very good, clear picture on what do we want this year to be about. And so I'd like to invite you into an intimate experience that I'm about to have with my team of coaches. A team of coaches that pays me $25,000 to $30,000 to be in my ultimate coaching group. And I'd like to invite you to come into that experience for 3 days. To come in for 3 days, and we're going to cover those 5 things. We're going to teach you how to be aware of the 3 biggest mistakes that everybody makes. We're going to teach you to overcome stress and worry and fear and frustration. We're going to blast through procrastination once and for all so it's done. We're going to really help teach you to understand how to make values-based decisions. That's the 4th thing. And then fifthly, actually plan and schedule. So this 3 days is not just me talking for 3 days. This is going to work. There's not going to be anybody else there spruiking or selling or teaching or doing stuff. This is me teaching, and then you and I going to work. That means pen and paper, schedules, diaries, calendars, spreadsheets, big monthly posters, yearly posters. And when you walk out of that room after 3 days, you're going to walk out armed with a schedule, a plan, an agenda for what's going to happen in the next 6, 12, 18 months of your life. This is boot camp. Boot camp for your planning, boot camp for your schedule, boot camp for your time. Now, I call it 3M. 3M. The reason I call it 3M is for me, that stands for make more money. Now, I'm not going to give you any strategies on income. I'm not going to give you strategies on wealth creation. I'm not going to give you strategies on business. There's plenty of places to get that from. But I can guarantee you this. You master your time. You take control of your 168 a week. You take control of your 52 blocks of 168 per year. You take control of that. I guarantee you, you will make more money. And you'll probably be less stressed and more happy. You'll be less frustrated and more joyful along the way. So there's a link on this screen somewhere. You can click it and get yourself registered for this very intimate experience. So only my ultimate coaching team will be coming to this and a very few select guests. So if you're watching this, we'd love to have you. Now, I know some of the world's best internet marketing gurus. And right now in the video is when I'm supposed to offer you a whole bunch of inducements and positive bonuses for free to get you to click the button now. But you know what? I think you're more mature than that. I think you're more sophisticated than that. And I can tell you, if you have a watch, if you've got a clock ticking, if you're aging in any way, shape or form, my inducement for you is to say this. The world is getting very, very small, my friends. Our life is going by very, very fast, my friends. And I can tell you one thing. Understanding time, how to schedule it, master it, plan it, control it, decide where it goes, is a skill and a resource you need to study. And if that's not with me, I'm okay with that, but it needs to be with somebody. And if it's going to be with me, then come do that. We've got an opportunity for you coming up sometime soon. It'll be an intimate experience. It won't be hundreds of people. That's not how I kind of do my teaching and coaching. This will be hands-on, nitty-gritty, you and I, spreadsheets, posters, diaries, calendars, journals, getting stuff done. That's my inducement for you, if you will, to click the button and get yourself registered. Now, if you have any questions, you can Facebook me, you can talk to the office. I'm sure there's lots of ways to do that. But I'd love to share this experience of making more money by controlling your time, your scheduling, your planning, and having you fall in love emotionally with taking care of this most precious resource of all. So click the link, get registered, follow the instructions. This will not be available to everybody all day forever. That's not how I teach. I'd love to have you on board this program. Click the button, and until you and I get to speak face to face, live very deliberately, and bye for now.